Hey, what's up, Aries? Happy birthday to any of my Aries who were born in the month of March. This is your month, and this is your March horoscope for 2016. What is going on for Aries in March? Well, first of all, the sun starts out in your 12th house, Aries, in the sign of Pisces. So that's continuing that energy of possibly feeling a little bit more drained and wanting to be under the radar because the 12th house is like the deepest ocean. And then the sun going in there, it kind of like fizzles out and sinks down there and kind of just hangs out. It wants to go to sleep, it wants to rest, it doesn't really want to do much. So you may be feeling like that throughout the first half of the month until we get to the 21st of March. Then that's when the sun moves into your sign, into Aries. And that is the time where you become more energized and more alive. People see you like bright and shiny and new because you got a lot of rest while the sun was in Pisces. So that's something to look forward to, Aries. The sun moving into your sign. The sun shines a flashlight wherever it goes into your chart and into that area of your life. So the first house, the ascendant, you know, it's all about you. It's all about your physical appearance, all about your body, how you take care of yourself, your life path, your career. I mean, anything can be highlighted during this time. But a lot of Aries may say, hey, it's all about me and I want to look good. So I'm going to change my hairdo, my style of clothes. I might do something different to change my body. A lot of things like that can go on when the sun is in your first house. But you'll definitely be shining really bright after the 21st. Venus continues to be in the sign of Aquarius in your 11th house, Aries, and this is going on up until the 13th of March. So from the 1st to the 13th, we're still carrying on that Venus and Aquarius energy from last month in February, where you're going to be having great times hanging out with friends, with groups, with like-minded individuals. You could be seen in a very positive light when it comes to networking, when it comes to, social media on the internet. You can have a lot of people that want to be friends with you, or they see you and they say, ooh, I saw you and your pictures on Instagram or on Facebook, and Aries, hey, what's up with you? You look like an interesting person, or you're very beautiful, you're very handsome. So that can definitely happen. But just good times with friends, is very, very much a focus when Venus is in the 11th house. So the 13th, Venus moves into Pisces, and that is your 12th house. So more 12th house energy to kind of just lay low. And also the 12th house is very artistic and creative. It's all about relaxation and escaping the world. So some forms of escapism, I recommend the healthier ones, not, the crazy ones. But Aries, you guys are pretty crazy. You guys just do what you want. You're rebels. So I can't tell you what to do. But whatever makes you feel like you have escaped the madness of the world is something that you're going to feel like doing once Venus moves into your 12th, into Pisces. Venus is all about what you enjoy, right? It's all about how you enjoy spending your time when you're not working or doing something like that's important, like the rest of the world and the rat race or anything like that. Is how you escape all that. So with Venus being in the 12th, definitely you may want to spend some time alone, or if you do have a partner or someone special in your life, you might want to just stay home with them, or maybe even go on a vacation with them, especially somewhere far away, especially somewhere near water. That's a great time when Venus is in Pisces for you to spend time with someone like that, or even alone, because the 12th house is about seclusion as well. It's being alone and sometimes just being okay with it, not having anyone else's energy around you, because the 12th house and Pisces energy is so emotionally receptive to people around them. So you might just want to be alone and maybe go on a little vacation by yourself, and there's nothing wrong with that, Aries, because you are a very independent and strong-minded sign, so you can handle stuff like that. So Mars, your ruling planet, continues to be in the sign of Scorpio, and it's going to be in your 8th house, okay, while it's in Scorpio. And we continue this Mars in the 8th energy that I spoke about last month for February, which is very intense. You may be prone to some very intense actions because Mars is your action and your physical drive, and how you assert yourself. So be careful with being too overly aggressive and assertive and like wanting to kill everyone if they cross you the wrong way. So that's the negative side of Mars in the 8th. The positive side is much determination, much focus, and really having a lot of like centered drive to just point that arrow at something and say, you know what, this is what I want to do, this is what I want to accomplish, and just go and do it, and not let anything or anyone get in your way to stop you. So that's the positives of it. So beginning March 7th, Mars moves into Sagittarius in your 9th house. So this is a focus on travel and higher education goals, and just being optimistic about things. And it's also seeing like the big picture, having very big picture goals. And Mars is a go-getter energy. You know that because you're ruled by Mars. So you're going to point your arrow at things like making a trip, whether it's like a vacation trip, a business trip, something to do with education. You're going to point your arrow there and you're going to say, you know what, that's what I want to do, that's what I want to accomplish, and you're going to go after it. So Mars is going to be in Sagittarius from March through May. So just be mindful of that you're going to be feeling that way for the next 2 months. You'll be more focused and driven towards traveling a long distance, or you know what, you might want to take some classes to expand your mind, expand your horizons. And this is a good time to have the determination to really go after your goals with those classes and hiring your mind, and just really accomplish those goals like that. What I will warn you of, though, with Mars in Sagittarius in your 9th house is Sagittarius and the 9th house are the energy of the runaway. Like, they run away from their problems. They don't really face them head on. Well, they kind of can because they're a fire sign energy, and Aries, you're very fiery and head on. Aries rules the head, so you guys can handle head on interactions with issues and problems. However, when the Sagittarius energy comes into play, it's more like you don't want to deal with things like, that are unfavorable. It's like anything that's not positive and optimistic, you'll want to run away from it. You'll want to escape it. You want to say, you know what, I can't deal with this. I want to have that don't worry, be happy attitude. And, I just don't want to deal with problems right now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to physically run away from them and like get out of town or something. And hopefully that'll fix the issue. So that's a negative side to Mars in Sagittarius that you need to watch out for, especially with all the Pisces energy going on at the same time, because Pisces is also about escapism. So Pisces is like escapism through the mind. So your mind will be like, oh, I wish I was somewhere else. And then when Mars is in Sagittarius, your body is going to physically be like, hey, let's go somewhere else. Let's get away from these problems. So if you have any problems, remember, you still have to face them. There's still a tomorrow. You will still have to deal with them, so you may as well. But if you have the opportunity to, step away from them a little bit to kind of gather yourself, then the Pisces energy and the Sagittarius energy will help you with that. But remember, you're still going to have the issue if you don't tackle it. So from the 1st of March through the 6th of March, Mercury is still going to be in Aquarius in your 11th house. And Aquarius energy, 11th house energy, is like mad genius, open mind, humanitarian. You just want to get along with everybody. You don't care about gender, race, color, religion, none of that stuff. It's just like being very neutral and cool and calm, and just saying, hey man, I'm not going to flip out right now. I'm not going to get too emotional about things. It's just like you're going to look at things from a higher perspective, like a more logical perspective, and look down at everyone else and kind of detach yourself from all the emotional stuff going on and be like, hold up, wait a minute. There's a better way to handle this than freaking out and crying. So that's your mentality for the first 6 days. It's carrying on that same energy that was going on in February. But once we hit March 6th, March 7th, Mercury's going to move into Pisces in your 12th house, and that is more of an emotional, receptive energy. And your mind may start going back to the past. Thinking about anything to do with the past, because the 12th house is the last house of the zodiac. It also symbolizes the end of life, and I'm not saying you're going to die, Aries. I'm saying like the end of life is when a lot of people, they reflect. They go within and they reflect back on their lives, and they think about everything. The good, the bad, the ugly, the pretty, the smiling, the laughing, the crying. They think about all that stuff. So when Mercury goes there, you could be having a lot of like retrospect happen, thinking back, and you can get kind of emotional about it. I will warn you of that, while Mercury's in Pisces. But remember, Mercury is also skills of the hands, and Pisces is very creative. So this is a great time to channel your creativity, the kind of creativity that flows like water with ease and just oozes out of you, and you don't even really have to do anything like read a sheet of music or follow along to counts when it comes to dancing. You just flow. You go with the flow of whatever it is that you feel, and you're naturally receptive towards like creative energy. So let it come out of you. If you have a business where you have to have a lot of creativity going on, Mercury in the 12th in Pisces is a great time. So take advantage of it in that way. I would say just watch out with, the 12th house in Pisces are the deepest water. And when people's minds go there, they go very deep, and they can have a tendency to stay down there at the bottom, and it could be very hard to pull them right back up. But Aries, you're a fire sign. You're very determined. So just remember, you can come back up to the surface at some point. Don't stay down there dwelling, all right? On the 22nd, Mercury's going to move into Aries, into your sign, okay? So Mercury moves very fast, as you can see. He's going to be traveling through 3 different signs in the month of March. So you're going to go from that Aquarian, like everything's cool and mellow man type of energy, to the Pisces energy, which can be more introverted and emotional, to Aries energy, which is more like blah. It's like out there. It's like in your face. It doesn't really care. It doesn't think before it acts or speaks. It just does or just talks. So with Mercury being in your sign, Mercury is the energy of a busybody. It's the mind. It's the mind that's like whizzing around, going and going and going and going, right? It has all these ideas. It just come to it, and it just wants to do, go, go, go. So you're going to be kept very busy, whether if it's in your career or your regular daily life. You're going to be more talkative. You're going to just be so chatty and be like la 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 blah 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 blah. So you're going to be feeling like such the busybody. Just remember to take care of yourself and still try to relax, but you're definitely going to be busy when Mercury goes into your sign. So there's a couple of eclipses in the month of March that I must tell you about, Aries. The first one is on March 8th, and that is a eclipse in Pisces at 18 degrees Pisces, and this is in your 12th house. Now, this is a new moon, right? New moons bring new beginnings. When it's an eclipse, it's like 10 times as more powerful, and the effects last longer. Like a lot of people say up to 6 months or so. So whatever happens during the eclipse in your 12th house, it can have a longer term effect than just a month to month like the regular new moons. And the 12th house is rest, relaxation, being introspective, being introverted. It's creativity, it's compassion. So anything based around those ideals can definitely change for you and be a big change and very significant and last for up to 6 months. Since the 12th house rules dreams, I would say pay attention to your dreams around the eclipse, okay? Pay attention around the 8th to whatever you dream about. You may have a message that appears. You may have like a loved one that has passed on appear to you in a dream and want to talk to you and give you an important message. You can have your body just tell you, you know what, we need to slow down, Aries, or we need to prepare for when all these planets move into our sign, Aries. So we're going to be so active then, we definitely need to get our rest now. But anything based on the 12th house energy, the Pisces energy, can have a new beginning around the 8th. The full moon eclipse is going to be on the 22nd of March, and this is going to be at 3 degrees Libra. This is in your 7th house of relationships. The full moon, it brings things to a close. It brings things to a head, to like a climax, to where it's like at its greatest strength, and then the moon, it starts to decline and it starts waning, okay? So what can happen is something can be a conclusion when it comes to your relationships. And keep in mind with the eclipses, things may or may not happen on the exact day of the eclipse. It may just kind of set the tone for the next 6 months. So just keep that in mind. But something based around relationships is going to happen. If you're not into dating and serious relationships, it could be just like a business partnership or just how you relate to people one-on-one in general. You can really start craving companionship, whether it's like a friendship or, somebody to be booed up with. It doesn't matter. The 7th house is all about just kind of one-on-one interactions with people. So the full moon can bring you a new relationship. It can bring a relationship to a close and to an end. It can bring a relationship to the next level. There's many options, many things that can happen. It's all up to you and your free will, but just know that that energy is there very strongly waiting for you to make a change that can affect you for the next 6 months ahead. All right, Aries, so your main focuses for the month of March, just to wrap things up, are your 11th house of friendships and groups and like-minded individuals, your 12th house of rest, relaxation, introspective, escapism, seclusion, compassion, creativity, and also the first house of the self and the body and the life path and the career. So significant changes are on the horizon in those areas. Secondary are your 7th house of relationships because of the eclipse there, and also your 8th and 9th houses of, joint resources, very intense feelings, traumatic experiences, and also the 9th house of like long distance travel and education and your higher minded goals. So you are going to be very busy, especially once planets move into Aries, but just remember to take care of yourself and to take the time to relax, but don't dwell on the past too much, and don't fall victim to codependency or blaming others for your issues, or sinking down very low emotionally to where you just want to stay there and drown. Try to avoid that, but I'm telling you, if you get caught up in that, once the sun and other planets move into Aries, Mercury moves into Aries, you're going to be very busy, you're going to feel very alive, and you're going to feel so much better, and you're going to get a lot of things done. All right, Aries, well, take care. I hope you enjoyed your horoscope. Have a great month of March, and I'll see you next month in April. Peace.